Hi guys, welcome back to Owl003 where I'm mapping the matrix one target at a time. Please like and subscribe and hit the notifications bell if you guys like what I'm doing here. It doesn't cost you nothing. So today I'm going to talk about the video that got me banned before I even made it. Just the mere mentioning of the topic has people scrambling. They're posting videos for damage control where they mention me, not by name, but they mention me, because it's scary, and I get why. I'm gonna explain why. So first of all, you guys need to know. I think it's important to point out the difference between what I do and what you see out there. Okay, what I do is legitimate remote viewing. So I have been tapped to do very private projects to look at very specific things. And they own that information. I can't just put them out there for you guys to just dig through. It's theirs. They pay me for that. So that's kind of what remote viewing is. Now, if you don't get tapped for that stuff, it leaves you little options with what you're going to do in remote viewing as far as to make any money. Okay? So they may get operations once in a while, or they teach, and if they can't do that, then the last option is they've got to sell entertainment to you guys. Okay, remote viewing entertainment. That's what it is, and it's quite different. Let me explain. First of all, why am I tapped for this, and why not these people? Well, these people, their average is just as high as mine. There's better sketch artists out there, but the real remote viewing where really profound things are happening, they don't, they tap you. And the ones that tap you, they don't care who you like, who you don't like, who your instructor was, what your diploma looks like. They've seen something that you've done, and they tap you for it because you bring something unique to the table. Now, the people that I work with, too, you check your ego at the door. And if you can't check your ego at the door like a professional, then you're not a professional anything. It goes for any job in life, okay? You can't go, oh, Dave's grumpy. He's got a bad attitude. I don't want to work with him. I'm not holding your hand during the session. We all do our own thing, and then we come back together towards one common goal. So why me and not these people? I'll explain. There is a uniqueness. It's beyond. It's come to, at this point. It's beyond just having a high percentage. They're looking for something particular. What's mine? I'll explain. 10 people go out to one target. It's a very sensitive target. Let's say, just as an example, let's say it's like the submarine with something that might be on it. Okay, 7 of the remote viewers get some kind of. They all sketch like the same wrong target. Like, oh, this is a church out in the middle of nowhere. But 3 of those remote viewers sketch the submarine and what's interesting about it, seemingly uninhibited. But one of those remote viewer in their summary will say, yeah, there's this, that, and the other. But there's also something at that target that seems like it's projecting some kind of a false holographic image or something. It's something I've seen before. So or perceived before. My perception is kind of unique, as in it's very literal. Okay, and sometimes it works against me. Don't get me wrong, but that's the uniqueness of the way I perceive, and that's what they're looking for. And I've never seen anything exactly like it. Now let me give you another example. So there's this big explosion coming up that hijacked the sessions of all these viewers, right? Well, I got the same thing, but when I didn't just get the image of all this destruction, the first thing I got was this holographic projection. And I basically at that point in the session, I'm like, okay, something's hijacked, and I'm saying that, like, something's projecting something over my session. Let's see where it goes. But before I get that big image, I already know it's something's taken over. Okay, I don't just get the image and then the feedback, I'm like, oh, I was wrong, this, that, and the other. I knew right then and there, like, okay, something's taken over. It's like, it's kind of like you see kind of another, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you're seeing an added layer of all this. Okay, so that's quite unique. So anyway, again, other than you know, teaching, the viewers have to sell RV entertainment, and they're not quite remote viewers, but remote viewers slash actors, right? So I could absolutely group up a bunch of very solid remote viewers and do the same thing. Absolutely. Um, and not sell it for very much money, but it's still, even then, I kind of would have a problem doing that, and I'll explain why. Okay? So when I get pointed at something very direct, legitimate work, you come back, you come with all this information, right? Well, what they're selling you, all right, okay, so there's we did a forecast, future forecast, there's an explosion. Oh no, yeah, people are going to die. It's a big, bad deal. Okay. Well, could you tell me the address? No. Could you just tell me the town? No. The city? No. The province? No. The county? No. The state? No. How about the country? Can you tell me the country at least where this explosion's going to... No, I can't. We have no idea. Okay. How about the continent? We don't know. Can you tell me the hemisphere of the planet of where this big explosion's going to happen during this wartime we're at right now? Can't do it. We really don't know. Okay. So then the host waits. It's just going to happen in the next 30 days. The host waits back. There's an explosion somewhere on the planet, right? Well, here we go, fans. We did it again. It's high fives. We have predicted that there's going to be an explosion, and here it is. Okay. What good is that information? Why are you paying up to $100 a month for that? I mean, outside of... Let me ask you this. If I told you, hey, I predicted somebody's going to sneak up behind you and hit you in the head with a baseball bat in the next 30 days, you said, oh my God, well, where? Don't know. What the hell good is that information? When? I don't know. Just the next 30 days. Outside of running to your apartment, locking the doors, and hiding under a box, how are you going to avoid that situation? You're not gonna. Okay. So, again, if there's any videos I ask you guys to watch all the way through, please do this one, because this is an important topic. All right? So, you've got these groups out there claiming to be the best out there, because what they're doing publicly is very sensationalism type of stuff, and so they have to market themselves, or the more subscribers they get, the more money they get, and blah blah blah, right? Now these guys are claiming to be the best team out there and all that, so and that's what they do. All right, I get that. They have to market themselves as such. Now, I'll give you an example. I did the Malaysia target, that missing Malaysia flight, and if you want to check it out, I suggest you guys go check it out. I'm not going to go through it again, but I will say that 2 other big groups, the biggest groups, worked that same target. Now, one of them, they only had a couple viewers on it, and their summation was up. The pilot fell asleep, and the host got on. Done deal. That's the narrative. That's what happened. Stamp of approval. Done. Okay. Now, the other group, who's got a lot of very good remote viewers, got a much bigger picture of things, where there's a jet involved and all that, and they got this explosion, right? So basically, they got this jet and an explosion. And that's it. Ah, yeah, hey, high five. Yeah. Yeah, we all know it exploded. We know that. Why? What happened? You're an investigator. What's going on? And so I did the same target, and I got the jet, I got the explosion, the plumes, and I got much, much, much more as an individual. Just myself. There was another at least 6 viewers on this. I buried all 6 of them. Now, and that can't happen. I mean, that's not my point. Is these people are claiming to be the best, right? Well, I just buried the best on a weekend project. So, again, these guys are good at what they do, all right? I'm not saying they're not, all right? But I'm just saying you guys might want to, understand the difference here, because there's a difference between what's happening here, okay? Like I said, what I get pointed at is very direct. So now I want to talk about conflict of interest, okay? Now, if I forecast a market, or I go out as a team and I forecast a market, okay, whether it be gold, silver, whatever, whether if it's Bitcoin, whatever. Oh, so let me get back to the explosion. I don't know if I did. So, I think it did. Okay, so these people will wait for an explosion to happen around the world. Then the host jumps on and posts a video, sensationalizes it, blah 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 blah. They're not telling you anything. Okay? They're serving themselves up their own feedback. They're closing their own loops. So, conflict of interest. Okay, so let's say we're doing a market. Okay, I'm remote viewing a market. I say, whether it's gold or silver or crypto, no matter what and no matter how I do it, it goes up, I sketch the actual thing, the actual marker, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm checking for the feelings of, the people invested. However you set up the experiment, doesn't really matter, okay? Point being is this. As a remote viewer, this is my job. I'll show you. No matter you're doing entertainment or not, this is your job as a remote viewer. Here's my information. There you go. And then you just, I'm done. Move on. Okay. And you make that prediction. You go, it went up, it went down, it's this, it's that. And then you go on to the next thing. You market your group. But what you don't do, what you absolutely do not do, is push an agenda and insert yourself into that equation as a remote viewer to push that prediction to fruition. Now, I'm not saying, a particular stock or this, that. No. When you are vested in a market heavily and you're actively not just commercializing your team, but in a 50% increment, you are commercializing this market in a way where you're saying, buy this shit, buy this shit, buy this shit. In a month, it's gonna take truck full of dollar bills to buy a cup of coffee. That's how little you're trying to literally kill the dollar to make your predictions true. Why? I would assume because you need this to work. Otherwise, you don't need to push an agenda. Okay? That's unethical. As a matter of fact, I would actually, this is my opinion, consider it abuse of power and authority. And these people are not financial advisors. They're remote viewers / actors. You do not push a market. It's clearly a conflict of interest. It's clearly unprofessional on every possible level. Let me give you an example. Crypto truths. Pissing you off with crypto. What are you going to do when there's no more money? 160 in crypto. The sound of crypto. When's this crypto going to hit? It's down this. It's going to be up this. How's it come down? It's going to go up. It's going to be up. It's going to be the next big thing. It has nothing to do with your group. You are pushing the agenda of a market you are heavily invested into. Now you've got people who have invested their livelihood. Okay, they've worked hard all their lives. Okay, and you're pushing an agenda that probably 9 or 10 out of 10 financial advisors would say you're nuts. Okay, now don't get me wrong. crypto, it may be the next freaking thing. I don't know. It's not something I can keep up with. It's too daunting. It's just ridiculous how much it goes up. But I don't follow the silver and gold market either. But why are you pushing a market so hard that your own platform won't take to support? They can't use that currency to even buy a subscription to your channel. I can't buy a cup of coffee with that market. And again, I'm not knocking that market. Guys, mine away. I don't care about that. But you do not absolutely shove that market down a consumer's throat and try and push the needle one direction. Try and kill the dollar. I mean, that's as bad as Killshot. That's as bad as Halbop. It's completely unethical. Now, here's some of the things I've heard from these individuals. Okay, people are getting rewarded for using cashless transactions, so they need this crypto market, right? Let's see what they have. Let's look over here. Move this. So, cashless transaction. Okay, we got Cash App, Venmo, Airtel Thanks, let's see, Google Pay, phone app, let's see what else, Brada Pay. It's just a few. What else is there? See, Venmo, there's PayPal. I mean, there's a ton of them. What do I need this market that's backed by air? Now, then another question, you guys, why not promote, I mean, if this is going to be the next, great. Why not promote a market that'll make me money now? Other, financial advisors doing that because they can't. So why? Why is that? Maybe because there are I mean, I'm not even going to tell you why that is, but I have a suspicion. But clearly, they can't have the same success with a backed market as with they can latching onto one that's backed by imagination, right? So, and that's fine. But why are you pushing that market and advertising that market? That's not what we do. That is not our job. You are not a financial advisor. So here's another thing that's been said. Oh, companies want stability. There's too much corruption and government oversight, so they want the government out of it. Okay, let's see. Crypto scams. Let's go 2023. You literally look up crypto scams. They're everywhere. It's over 10 billion and counting in crypto scams, okay? There is no oversight, so it's extremely risky. And it's extremely susceptible to corruption. Okay? So what the hell are they talking about? It doesn't matter. That's not their job. Now, there are plenty of very proficient remote viewers giving this stuff away. John's doing some amazing work. Henny's doing amazing work. I mean, so again, I don't have to kind of whore myself out to do this, but some people apparently do. Instead of just going to get a regular job, they're going to sell you these narratives, right? Fine. But there's a line. You've crossed it. And for if you have been doing, if you're as good as you say you are, you've been doing this for decades, you should know that. Because you've seen more than me. You should know better. So there is a very profound difference between legitimate remote viewing and remote viewing entertainment. It is entertainment, guys. So if if you're thinking about doing any kind of investments and stuff, by all means, listen. Go and listen to what remote viewers have to say, but do not, please have enough sense to go to somebody who's been doing this all their lives. That's not these people. It's not our jobs to do that. Promote yourself, promote your group, and even whatever. This is what we got. This is that. But when you start pushing an agenda of finances, watch out. That's why I'd say watch out for anybody claiming to have the best of this stuff, because it's ridiculous. Another thing too you need to understand is UFOs and remote viewing. Let me explain it like this. Okay. Let's say I get tasked some shack out in the desert, right? That's akin to like getting a fast pitch, okay, coming down the in a baseball game and trying to take a swing at it, right? Well, the baseball is coming at you this fast, it's this small. When you do a UFO target, the ball is this big and it's sitting on a tee. It's almost impossible not to knock it out of the park. And what does that information at the end of the day give you? Oh, it's everything I thought it might have been. Yeah, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We don't have any feedback, so. And I've got them too, and my stuff I give them away is entertainment for you guys. I don't care. But, when you do stuff like that and claim you're the best of the best, you're hitting the shiniest, hugest target you could put in front of me. I don't think I've ever missed a UFO target. I don't think I could. It's too big and shiny. And just to be fair, like the other groups, it's completely blind conditions and under the most strictest protocols. You're doing 10 UFO targets a month. That's not blind conditions anymore, guys. I mean, I don't know what that is, but it's and again, and a lot of it's complete. And all of it's, as far as UFO, it's all completely unverifiable. So. Again, I don't know what you're paying for Netflix, but 10, 25, but then to pay, again, you just have some sense, guys. Because it all comes down to this. All right? They're not getting paid in virtual money. They're getting paid in subscriptions. Cash. Cash money. Now they're all gonna watch this video, and I dedicate this video to them, especially the mouth that keeps cramming it down our throats. Be sensible, guys. This is a study. This remote viewing. It's the science of perception. Okay, and when you're good at it, it's easy to. They know how people know. We know how you perceive. You take information. It's real easy to, as a remote viewer, to people that aren't remote viewing, even though they could do this, it's really easy to put on some sparkles for you guys. Because you're not doing it. But you could be. So I think I covered about everything I needed to say. Like I said, this got me kicked out of groups and stuff like that and all that. And again, these people are good people. I'm not, but it's easy to lose sight of what you're doing when all this is involved. So My advice is to, just not just, stand back from the picture that's getting shoved down our throats, guys. Because, again, people were scrambling when I just talked about this because they know it's going to hurt their pocketbook. When people see this, they're going to have enough. Oh yeah, well, this guy's got a point. Like what's, if I made an investment, like if let's say I remote view to market and this and the other, I may say, hey, I did this. Looks like, and I may take a personal, I may put money aside for that or whatever. But I don't shove that down your throats to ensure that it's going to happen. It's clearly it's a conflict of interest, guys. When they start telling you buy this shit, that's yikes. So I hope you guys learned something. Because this it's sad. It's sad what this field is, to be honest with you. It's getting worse. It's going to continue to get worse. It's going to continue to be more sensationalized. It's going to continue to blah, blah, blah. And then when you ask these guys to do a pickup game, like, oh, when they claim you're the best, they're marketing all this shit. Then a guy like me blows the doors off them. They can't do that. They can't, because they've already pinned themselves as the best, and they're clearly not. Okay? Use discernment, guys. I can't perceive for you. You're gonna have to figure it out on your own. But like I said, when I did that Malaysia session and I seen like the difference between this group and this and what I that was a pretty clear picture to me. Like, this is all marketing. Sad. We'll catch you next time, guys.